Hi, everybody. It's Lynn McTaggart, and I want to give you a little tip about using intention in your community. You know, we all think of intentions as working just for us or maybe our loved ones, or possibly even a group. But have you ever thought of using it out there in your community to change something for the better? I've had some experience with this with many of my students who, after they've mastered many of the techniques, have tried it out as an experiment or a real life situation. For instance, one Power of Eight group that were part of my masterclass a few years ago decided to do their own mini intention experiment. So they got hold from their local chamber of commerce statistics about rainfall, because the big problem with their area was not enough rainfall. So they had one person be a recorder who looked at rainfall in their area and the surrounding areas and just see what the difference was. And then they did their intentions and measured rainfall for several months afterward. Guess what happened? They saw and got the information to confirm this, that rainfall had increased after their intention. One of the most dramatic examples of this occurred with a Power of Eight group in another course of mine who wanted to do an intention to try to stop the Northern California fire, and the fire that was coming straight at one of their members' houses. It was raging out of control, and her house was right in line. So they did an intention, imagining there was like a dome over her house that would prevent it from being burned and would also prevent soot from going into their house. They also did an intention that the house would be a sanctuary for the firemen because it would be so clean. So they did this intention, and the fire raged through that community. And you won't believe this. Afterward, there was like a dome-shaped space around the house. The fire had gone around it, hadn't touched it. There was no soot inside. And indeed, the firemen used her house for a sanctuary. Other houses in the neighborhood had been hit by the fire, but hers was preserved. So there are many things you can use intention for. Think about doing intention for something in your community you want to heal. So you can do it to lower violence in your area. You can do it to reduce pollution. You can do it to focus on a particular street in your neighborhood. You can try to do some sort of form of community activism. You can increase the grade point average of the children in your local school. You can decrease the number of hospitalizations. You can try any of those. And what really is convincing is if you can get data from the local police or your local chamber of commerce and actually prove to yourselves and your group that you've had an effect. Now, there are loads of ideas about this in my free tools, and it's part of the 8 Revolution, which is my little social movement I've started, joining all of my Power of 8 group members together, all the different groups around the world, and placing them on a special place in my community site that's perfectly private, and providing them with free tools so they can bring this kind of work and the power of group intention out into their communities and make lasting changes to move us from polarization and isolation to connection, love, and thriving community. So these are great tools to use in these uncertain times. So have a look on my website, free tools. You'll see all the information under that tab about the 8 Revolution. If this is of interest, and remember, it's all free. I don't want to market to you. I want to create a social revolution. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again soon.